public forum. If there's anyone here for a topic that is not on tonight's agenda, this would be the time to speak. Please know that you're limited to 5 minutes because it's not an agenda item. The council may not take action on any items. Is there anybody here for something that's not on the agenda? Yes?
Is it okay to come there? You want to?
Yeah.
All right. It's been a long time since I've been at this table. So, how much time do I have?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. So, I got a report from a concerned citizen about potential illegal dumping on city property. These are packets. So I went out there and I looked, and it looked like to me there was about 3 turbine blades that were dumped there, shredded in pieces. This is not the proper way to take care of turbine blades. So I contacted the city because it was city property. And I was told that you guys were aware of it and that Dallas County's aware of it, the DNR approved it, that type of stuff. So then I started digging and I got some information from Dallas County, and I have a timeline here of all the information I've gotten and when I got it. So if you look at the pictures, you can see that basically it's just garbage. I mean, there's shredded fiberglass, there's insulation, there's pieces all over the property. This is not only an environmental hazard, it's also a safety hazard. I'm not sure, currently there's no approved process other than burying turbine blades because they are fiberglass. They do have toxic resins in them. And it really concerned me seeing all this on city property.
Petticord said that,
Going in concrete.
yeah, they were gonna put it in, they were gonna sell it to the concrete plants.
Well, here's
It's gonna be recyclable.
right, I know that's what they said. I know that's what they said. However, this property is zoned agricultural, and the Dallas County supervisors were not aware
Right.
that they were doing this.
I mean, they didn't ask us, I guess, that they were gonna start taking them out there. They asked if they could put up a building and get it
Right.
rezoned.
after the fact. So what
No,
happened?
well, no,
Well-
I think that those blades just showed up recently.
The blades did, but they actually applied for the conditional permit. If you go to Exhibit B,
Yeah,
they applied for the permit in September. They didn't let the council know until October 11th. In fact, they actually submitted the request to the paper before you guys were even told. So they told Dallas County that you guys approved it before you approved it. They told Dallas County that DNR approved it, DNR did not approve it. I spoke to the supervisor of Region 5, which handles, I think, 16, 17 counties. They were completely unaware of it. Exhibit C is the publication. As you can see, it puts City of Earlham and Altoona properties. Again, this is before you guys were even notified that this was going on. And Altoona Properties is not the legal entity that has a lease with us, it's Petticord. So according to your lease, if the city's lease, they have to notify you and get written permission to make changes to the property, before they make changes to the property, and to sublet or assign it. And one of those, I'm waiting for confirmation on that you guys gave permission to Altoona Properties, but Altoona Properties isn't LLC, which is a completely different legal entity than Petticord Inc. I'm sure you business owners know that. Exhibit D is where if they break down what they're gonna do on the property. These are the minutes. Exhibit D is the Earlham minutes where you were told. Exhibit E is the minutes from the zoning commission from their meeting on October 19th, where they told them there's gonna be 500 blades out there. So they're gonna be staging, storing 500 blades, shredding 500 blades on city property. This is a hazardous condition. This is basically a dump. So I'm very concerned about that because I don't know if you guys have heard, but there was a company that claimed to do the same thing in 2017. They were actually given a grant by the state. They never did it. In fact, it was referred to the Attorney General's office. I spoke to the Assistant Attorney General's office this week, and they said basically that the company closed shop, they never did it, they took the money and run, and now the city of Newton is stuck with 500 turbines to get rid of 840 turbines to get rid of, and 2 other Iowa cities are stuck with the same thing. So that is very costly to process turbines because there's only a few places in Iowa you can bury them, where they allow them to bury. I think there's 2. And then otherwise they're shipping them down to Tennessee or Nebraska. So that's a lot of money I don't really want taxpayers to pay if they walk away. Exhibit G is the communication with DNR and myself. So the first 2 pages is the DNR where they said they had no idea this was going on. And the last page of that, Exhibit G, shows you my communication with them. Apparently what happened, according to Ted, is that they went out there on another complaint for something else that they were doing, and that's when they saw the turbines. They were told that this is just a research thing, they're not going to have any more here, it's a small product. They were not told it was going to be 500 turbines. Once I explained to them and I showed them proof that there are going to be 500 turbines, they are now investigating it. They are very concerned. They are actually going to be meeting this week to put together some kind of process because apparently this is an ongoing problem in Iowa. Turbine blades are just dumped in fields. Now, fiberglass, as you guys probably know, does not break down. I understand it's a good idea to shred it and put it in cement, but again, it is still very new, it's experimental, and my main concern is the environmental hazard and us being stuck cleaning up 500 turbines if they decide to pull up shop. Because again, the conditional use permit and the rezoning was not done in the name of J. Petticord, it was done in Altoona Properties, which is an LLC. So the last page, H, is the recommendation, was my communication with the Assistant Attorney General's Jason Larson. I talked to him about global fiberglass because I wanted to know what they were doing with them because this has been an ongoing issue. The state actually revoked its grant to global fiberglass because they failed to deliver. If you look, it says in the first paragraph, it says that they're trying to basically untangle who's responsible for that company because there's so many different company names that paperwork is in, they can't figure out who's responsible to remove those blades. So far, I have found we have J. Petticord, we have Renew-A-Blade, we have Altoona Properties, and then the company that's actually going to be doing the cement is another company called Polymer Crete. Again, a completely unrelated company. I found that by digging in the minutes of the Iowa Economic Development Authorities. They did a presentation, and they mentioned J. Petticord in there. So there's a lot of things going on that I'm really concerned about. I do not want the city to be held liable or holding the bag. So I know that we want to believe these people, but I was stunned. And again, the only reason I was out there is because someone expressed concern, a local resident there. So I took pictures, I do have video. The DNR is now involved. Dallas County supervisors are aware as well. My understanding from a Dallas County resident that they're not too pleased. So I'm letting you guys know that because I'm trying to protect the city.
Oh, that's great. And
I'm trying to protect us. I have some outstanding items that I asked for copies of from the city, but just last week, so I'm not surprised I haven't gotten them yet. But basically, does the city insurance policy cover stuff like this? Hazard mitigation, disposable turbines. What would be the cost if we did that? Do we have a bond from this tenant for damage to the property? So the disposal of turbine blades, just 3, could cost upwards of $100,000. If there's 500 blades, it can cost a lot more depending on what you do to get rid of them. There's fiberglass, there's metal, there's all kinds of things in those pictures. The other thing is that we, according to our lease, we have to have written approval to Altoona or J. Petticord or whoever to allow them to sublet and to change the property. It can't just be a head nod consensus at a council meeting. It has to be written according to our lease contract. And then the final concern I have is, and I'm going by memory here, I don't think the Gendler contract allows this kind of stuff. I believe, again, I asked for a copy of it because it's been a long time since I read it. I believe it only is supposed to allow recreation, agricultural, not an industrial turbine recycling facility, so.
I thought we asked the lawyer about that before we ever give them the okay to, all they asked us to is that they were wanting to put a building up there, that's all, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more than a building.
That's what they said, they wanted to put a building up and,
Yeah.
and,
From what I gathered from the minutes is that, that the Gendler contract does not prohibit rezoning, and that, I don't know about that, but it does, it only allows certain things to be done on that property, the contract we have with them. So, I wanted to see a copy of that so I can read it and see exactly what it says. So that's, I have more information if you guys want it, as I continue communicating with the DNR. I did file a formal complaint with the DNR there, so they will be keeping me abreast of that. And I did it as an Earlham City resident, because if even though that's technically in Dallas County, if that goes to crap, we're stuck paying for it, the taxpayers here. So I'm really worried about that. So I don't know what you guys want to do with that. I know you can't take any action, but I want to give you this information so you are aware of what's going on. And we can protect the city.
Yep.
So that's all I have. There's another thing on the agenda about the dispatch, but that's unrelated, in case you got any questions, so I'll stick around for that. So, did you guys have any questions for me here?
Not yet.
Sorry, I was speaking kind of fast, but I know, I was trying to get into 5 minutes.
no, that's good.
I have one.
Uh-huh,
You just said that someone called you and tipped you off
Yep.
as to this?
Yep.
Okay, your initial email to me,
yep,
I'm gonna read it verbatim.
correct.
I was out walking my dog yesterday and discovered possible illegal dumping
Yeah.
of turbine blades.
Yeah, I didn't know if they were telling me the truth, so I took my dog to Gendler
Okay.
and walked back there. Yep.
That's private property. Is there a reason you were walking your dog on
It's-
someone else's property?
Well, it's city property, it's city.
Which is leased
I-
to.
Correct, but according to the law, if I'm unaware that it's leased, which I didn't know, and if you go on there and you didn't know, it's not trespassing until you're advised. So I was advised. There's also nothing posted about it. There's no signs, there's no trespassing, so there was no way for me to know. It looked like a driveway back there, or a road back there. So if it was posted and the gates were closed, I would not have gone back there.
Okay.
So, and I'd rather not disclose the person that said it, because they asked me to.
That's fine.
So, do you have any other questions? Okay, so, just so you guys know, there are people that walk dogs back there. So you might want to put a posting up there or close the gate. So it's not the north entrance, it's the south entrance that's right across from Gendler. Because otherwise, because I've
I
seen
think when
other.
the farmers are in there, I mean, that's
Oh.
the Orries, right? The south side of that's Orries have, and
Well,
they
it's-
farm it. So
yeah,
when
it's-
they're in there,
Okay. it's
when they're
not
mowing
wide.
and stuff, they open them gates up.
Yeah, it's just ag, and that's, I didn't see anything until I got
Yeah.
back into the second parcel north of
Yeah,
there.
you can actually
So-
see them from the interstate. I mean, I noticed the other night when I drove by, I could see the blades from the interstate. Because I
Yeah.
was curious about it, because I didn't know that they had any out
And
there.
another thing too is, if you read, there's an email in there with the conversation between Dallas County Zoning and Nick Wiley. They actually asked him to put screening up to make sure the public doesn't see it. So that's a little concerning to me. It seems to imply that we're trying to hide this. And it could be just, we're approving this and we just don't want any people to look at it. But my concern is, had this not come to my attention, we would not know what's going on. And we could be in the same position as Newton's dealing with right now. So I don't know what the process is for contracts or anything like that, but I'm a little concerned that this guy thought it was perfectly okay to put these on city property without even notifying us, and then notifying us after he actually submitted the request to Dallas County to change the zoning. That ticks me off. That's just, and he lied about the DNR. So I'm a little concerned about what else is he hiding. This is just the stuff I've been able to find from open records requests. So I'm asking you guys to, and the new people,
Dig into it.
to dig into it, and make sure that we're protected, and,
We are. We've been in touch with our attorneys and with our insurance agent. And,
Good.
we're getting responses, so.
okay.
It
good.
is on the radar. I guarantee it'll be on the agenda for next month's meeting. It just kind of came about too quickly to be on.
Right.
To have
This month.
any real discussion for this month's meeting.
Right, and I understand that, and this is still, this new, I mean, I know you guys is digging into that, but, if I find any more information that I get from, you know, to me, I will pass it on to the council, so you guys are aware. So, but I do still want the copies of the stuff that I did request, so I know Mary Sue's working on that,
Mhm.
so, okay? Any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right, guys, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here for something that is not an agenda item? All right, item 3, consent agenda.